This briefing dropped on a Friday, March 14, 2026. While you were getting ready for the weekend, Reuters published a story. 3 anonymous sources, all of them inside one of the most powerful companies in the world. The headline: Meta is planning to cut 20% of its global workforce. 20%? That's approximately 15,800 people. Gone. At a company that just reported over $200 billion in annual revenue. Record profits. And they're cutting 20%. Let that sit for a second. You did everything right. You got the degree. You stayed loyal. You survived the first wave of cuts. And yet, you are still one bad Monday away from financial ruin. Because the game has changed. The rules changed. And nobody sent you the memo. Welcome to the Great Contraction. This is what the talent. And today we open File 04, the ghost market. Before we talk about the ghost market, before we talk about synthetic recruiters and AI filters, I need you to understand the battlefield you're actually standing on. Because this isn't a tech story. This is an economy story. And the numbers are not being reported honestly. Here is what has happened since January 1, 2026. In less than 75 days, Amazon eliminated 16,000 corporate roles. This is on top of 14,000 cut in October 2025. That's 30,000 in less than 6 months at a company that posted record revenue of $716 billion last year. Block, Jack Dorsey's fintech company, cut nearly 40% of its entire workforce. Not 4%. Not 14%. 40%. Square. Cash App. Gone. And Dorsey didn't apologize. He celebrated it. He posted on X that this was structural change. That Block was ahead of the curve. He told his remaining employees, and I'm paraphrasing, that within a year, most companies will make the same decision. Oracle is reportedly looking at cutting up to 18% of its global workforce to fund AI data centers. Atlassian cut 10% to reorganize around AI-native workflows. eBay cut 800 more people, their third round of layoffs since 2023. UPS eliminated 30,000 jobs through automation. And now, as of March 14, Meta is planning sweeping layoffs that could affect 20% or more of its entire company. Top executives have already told senior leaders to begin planning how to pare back. The timing and exact number haven't been finalized, but the direction is set. In total, over 45,000 tech workers have lost their jobs in 2026 alone, and we're not even through March. That's a 51% increase over the same period last year. The headline they keep using is AI investment. The real translation is simpler: they found a way to do your job with fewer people, and the savings go straight to the infrastructure that replaces you next. This is not a downturn. Downturns are temporary. This is a restructure. And restructures are permanent. This is the Great Contraction. Now I need to tell you about the barrier most people don't know they're hitting. The one that explains why you've applied to 50 jobs and heard nothing. It's called the ghost market. A ghost market is a job market where the listings are real, but the hiring is synthetic. The jobs exist on paper. The applications are being received. But the human being who used to sit on the other side of that process, the recruiter, the hiring manager, the HR coordinator, has been quietly replaced. Not eliminated. Automated. In 2026, the first filter you hit when you apply for a role isn't a person. It's an algorithm within an applicant tracking system that's been upgraded with machine learning. It reads your resume in under 6 seconds. It scores you against a rubric. And if you don't hit the threshold, your application never surfaces to a human. At all. Ever. But the ATS is just the first layer. The second layer is what I call the synthetic recruiter. You get an email, "Congratulations, you've advanced to the first round. Click here to meet with our talent partner." You show up at the link. You see a friendly person. Good lighting. Professional background. They nod while you speak. They ask follow-up questions. That person may not be real. In 2026, high-fidelity AI interview avatars are being deployed by companies to conduct first-round screening interviews at scale. They are not listening for passion. They are not moved by your story. They are scanning micro-expressions for stress signals. Measuring vocal jitter, the slight instability in your voice when you're uncertain. Cross-referencing your language against a keyword density model pulled directly from the job description. If your keywords don't match, if your vocal pattern flags as low confidence, if your lighting suggests an unprepared home setup, you are scored below threshold. And the conversation ends before a human ever hears your name. This is the architecture of the ghost market. Real listings. Synthetic gatekeepers. And a growing pile of qualified candidates who have no idea why no one is calling back. I want you to understand why this is happening. Not just the AI is coming headline, the actual business logic. Because when you understand the logic, you can start playing against it instead of being played by it. Block's announcement may be one of the clearest examples of a profitable company explicitly tying large-scale layoffs to AI-enabled productivity. Their CFO Advisory Council said it plainly: if Block improves margins with a dramatically smaller workforce, every board in the country will ask their own CFO, "What's our productivity benchmark? Why are we still paying for this many people?" That question is now being asked in boardrooms across every industry. Not just tech. Healthcare. Finance. Legal. Marketing. Logistics. The question is the same: what is the minimum number of humans we need to generate this output? And the answer keeps getting smaller. In 2025, AI was directly cited as the cause of nearly 55,000 layoffs in the United States alone. In 2026, that pace has not slowed; if anything, it's accelerated. And here's the pattern that's changing: earlier rounds of layoffs targeted operational and support roles. The newer cuts are hitting specialized and senior positions. They're not just replacing the people at the bottom of the org chart. They're replacing the people in the middle. The directors. The senior managers. The experienced individual contributors, who used to be considered untouchable because of their institutional knowledge. Internal accounts from Block confirm that engineering teams have been reduced from 8 people to 1, with AI handling the work the other 7 used to do. 8 to 1. And the stock went up when they announced it. That is the world you are applying into. A world where your competition for a job is not just other candidates, it's the question of whether to fill the role at all. Where the first interview is conducted by a system designed to find reasons to eliminate you efficiently. Where your resume needs to speak machine before it speaks human. This is what the ghost market is. And now I'm going to tell you exactly how to move through it. There are 3 rules. These are not general interview tips. These are calibrated specifically for the architecture of the ghost market in 2026. Rule 1: the keyword pulse. The ATS and the AA interview system are both running the same scan, keyword density against the job description. This is not about stuffing your resume with buzzwords. It's about precision mirroring. Before you apply to any role, extract the exact nouns from the job description. Not interpretations. The exact words. If the description says cross-functional stakeholder alignment, Your resume needs to say cross-functional stakeholder alignment, not worked with different teams. The system is matching strings, not concepts. In the interview, those same keywords need to appear in your first 3 minutes of speaking. The AI is weighted toward early response content. Front-load your alignment with the role's language. If the role calls for revenue operations infrastructure, use that phrase exactly 4 times before the 10-minute mark. Rule 2: The signal environment. The synthetic recruiter is evaluating your visual signal before your words even register. This is not about vanity, it's about the AI's scoring model. A dark background signals low-tech environment. A grainy video flags as unprepared. A cluttered background introduces visual noise that the expression reading layer struggles to parse cleanly. Your setup needs a single light source in front of you, not behind you. A clean, neutral background. Camera at eye level. Microphone close enough that your vocal pattern is clear. Treat your home office like a broadcast studio. Because in 2026, it is one. Rule 3: The Starbot Protocol. The AI interview system is pattern matching for a specific data structure in your answers: situation, task, action, result. This is not new. Behavioral interviewing has always used STAR. What's new is that the AI is scoring it structurally. If you wander off format, if you lose the narrative thread, if you give a result without a quantified outcome, the system registers an incomplete data point. An incomplete data point is a flag. Practice your STAR stories until they are modular. Situation in 20 seconds. Task in 10 seconds. Action in 45 seconds. Result in 15 seconds, always with a number. A percentage. A dollar amount. A time saved. Something the algorithm can classify as a concrete outcome. The human listener would give you credit for nuance. The bot gives you credit for structure. Give it what it wants, then save the nuance for the human conversation that follows. I want to be clear about something, because I don't want you leaving this briefing with the wrong frame. The goal is not to become a better bot parser. The goal is to get past the bot so you can have the human conversation where you actually have leverage. Because here is what the ghost market creates, that most people are not seeing yet: it creates a scarcity of people who know how to move through it. The candidates who understand the architecture, who know how to mirror keywords, optimize their signal environment, structure their stories for machine parsing, those candidates are surfacing consistently. The ones who don't are disappearing into the silence. The ghost market is a filter. And like every filter, it creates 2 categories: what passes through and what doesn't. You are now in the category that passes through. But moving through the filter is just the entry point. Once you're in the room, once you're talking to a human, the leverage conversation begins. And that is where the shadow log matters. That is where your revenue language matters. That is where the skills from File 02 and File 03 come alive. The contraction is real. The ghost market is real. The synthetic recruiter is real. And none of it is designed to help you. But none of it is insurmountable either, once you understand what you're actually navigating. In closing, Meta is planning to cut 15,800 people. Amazon already cut 30,000. Block cut 40% of its workforce and the stock went up. Oracle is eyeing 18%. The total so far in 2026, over 45,000 jobs. And we're not through March. The headlines will call this AI-driven efficiency. The earnings calls will call it strategic restructuring. The press releases will say it's about building for the future. Your bank account will call it something else. But you are not watching this briefing to panic. You are watching it to prepare. And preparation in the Great Contraction looks like this: Understanding the ghost market so you move through it. Building your shadow log so you have receipts when you sit across from someone who controls your income. Knowing your severance rights before you need them. Having the portfolio career pivot map before it becomes mandatory. The ghost market is designed to filter you out quietly. No rejection. No feedback. Just silence. File 05 opens next. The Architect, how to make yourself the last person they'd ever cut. This is what the talent. The great contraction is real. The move is still yours.